sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's begin this new journey together. It is always good to start with the question why. So why am I here? I'm here to mentor, to encourage, to motivate, and to support you in your new journey. To be specific, I would like to share my career story. I hope I will be able to help you opening new doors of opportunity. I would like to support you creating the right network. And also, I would like to provide you some suggestions on finding universities and scholarships to do your master's or PhDs. And I would like to also provide insights into career path or entrepreneurial track. Last but not least, I love to interact with you all. So that's the objective of the program for today. And during my presentation, if you have any question, just stop me so we can discuss that and later I can continue. Who am I? Sir already introduced me. I'm Elackiya Sithamparanathan. I was born in Udupi in Jaffna district. So you can already see in our Sri Lankan map. So it's here, Udupi. And I did my school studies in Udupi Girls College from grade 1 till A level. And I finished my school studies in 2007. And my major in A level was mathematics. Uh, in my A level, I only got 3 credit pass, so 3C. So I was thinking, okay, with this 3C, what should I do next? Should I find any opportunity that can fit with this result, or should I go for the second attempt? So I was quite confused what to do next in my life. During that time, my school principal, Mrs. Kuttitambi, she called me and she was saying there is one opportunity Elackiya in Bangladesh. It's an international university and it's an American university but located in Bangladesh, but you are the first batch of the university. uh, they are they are they are planning to provide wonderful programs, and you can also get scholarships. For that you have to write an exam, you have to go for an intake interview, so you have to meet all the criteria to be eligible for the scholarship. So she gave me all the introduction to the university. Right after she said, I thought, I should try for this opportunity. So that's the first thought I had after hearing from her. Then I went home and I started to discuss this with my parents. First, they said, no, you don't need to go to abroad to do your studies. You can stay in Sri Lanka, you can study in Sri Lanka, like that. They were not happy about the decision. Normally, I'm very stubborn. So I said, no, I wanted to go. I wanted to have the international exposure. I wanted to learn new things. I wanted to travel. So I wanted to go. I was very sure about my decision. So at last, they also didn't have any option. So they said, okay, you can go. Then, yeah, I went for the exam and I also went for the intake interview. Then I passed all the things and they selected me. So that's how I went to Asian University for Women in Bangladesh. So you can see the building. So this is more like my home. So I always get the home-like feeling whenever I see this building. AUW is the big turning point of my life. As I said, I received Access Academy and undergraduate program scholarship to study at AUW. In AUW, the first year is about Access Academy program. There we learn English, mathematics, and IT. Before going into AUW, I was able to write in English, but I had difficulties to speak in English. So that was my challenge. But in that 1 year, I learned to speak in English. And after this 1 year program, then I started my 4 years of bachelor's program in environmental sciences at AUW. About AUW, in our batch, we had students from 16 nationalities, so it's a very multicultural environment. And also the faculty members were from all over the world. So they were mainly from USA, but also they were from Europe, Australia, like that. And with this new environment, I started building my network. Even now, we are connected to each other via LinkedIn, Facebook, and WhatsApp. This really helps. So, for example, whenever we find any opportunity, we share that to each other by using this media, social media, and it really helps. So we can quickly get the opportunity, and then we can try to apply. So it's here. Then I can say the networking is very, very important. At personal level, at AEW, I also won admission to Stanford Summer Scholarship Program in USA in 2011. I did a lot of environmental research projects in AEW, and I was also selected as a semi-finalist in Dell Social Innovation Competition in Bangladesh. And I was also an active member of Women Across Border Club at AEW. So in that club, we used to go to one orphanage and we taught English and mathematics to those children. And also we did some personal hygiene related workshop with those children. Here I would like to share some unforgettable moments in my AW life. So it's a women university, so everywhere women. And they are my teachers. The good thing is we also had a lot of Bangladeshi students, so they used to invite us for any ceremonies at their houses, wedding or birthday parties, and we used to have dinner also together with their family. So it was a wonderful experience. So I was exposed to a new culture, and this is us, and we were also from different nationalities. So with these wonderful moments, I graduated from AUW with summa cum laude, the highest honor in the major of environmental sciences in 2013. So this is happy, yes. In fact, we were around 27 students from Sri Lanka who won the scholarship, who went to AUW to do their bachelor's program. So what was the life lesson I learned after my AUW life? When opportunity knocks on your door, always be willing to take a chance because you never know how perfect something could turn out to be. This is exactly happened in my AEW life. When I selected AEW, I had no idea how it would go. But later, after finishing my AEW, I realized that's the biggest turning point in my life, and that's one of the best decisions I have ever made. So my suggestion is that never miss any opportunity. Try. You will learn new things when you try new opportunities. Then I came to the transitional period. So I graduated in 2013 and I had a transitional period for 1 year. During that period, I was again confused. I was lost and there were a lot of insecurity things. During that transition period, of course, it was painful. And during that period, I was mainly staying home and doing household work. Meanwhile, I was also applying for graduate schools in Europe. So my main target was Europe. Uh, when I applied for those schools, I most of the time I received the admission, but I did not receive the scholarship. So I was thinking, should I marry and become a housewife? Or should I think about a master's study in Sri Lankan University? Or should I try a job in Sri Lanka? So I was puzzled with all these kind of thoughts. So then the question is, how did I survive during this transitional period? Yeah, I did not miss any opportunity. Though I did not get scholarship at the beginning, I tried again and again and again. And I had high level of self-confidence and positivity. And I trusted my gut feelings. It said to me, okay, you have the potential. You can definitely go abroad and you can definitely do your master's abroad. So the thing is, I really trusted my gut feelings. And I also did not listen to others. Sometimes it's good actually because my people, like the village people, were saying, oh, you should stay here, you should get married, you should start your family life like that. For me, definitely, I value that thing. I value of being a housewife or motherhood thing. I really value that thing, but I really wanted to go beyond that. I want some identity for myself. So then I did not want to settle for less. I believed in myself. So that's how I survived during this transitional period. So during this transitional period, as I said, I was applying for different graduate schools to do my master's. So here I summarized how I did in a systematic way. I think it's very important to share this with you. So first thing that we have to think, okay, where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Europe, USA, Canada, Australia? In my case, I plan to go to Europe for some personal reasons. So you may have to first decide where do you want to go. Based on that, you can select top universities for the programs that you are planning to do. For example, environmental sciences program. So you select the top universities. After you select the top universities, you check for the program structure. Like, you see whether you are very happy with the program structure. It's very important. You should put yourself as the priority. You should be happy with the program structure. And then check for the entry requirements and check whether you meet all the requirements. There are some basic requirements that every university asks. For example, your CV, motivation letter, and recommendation letters from your professors. Sometimes IELTS score, that also varies per university, but these are the basic requirements a university would ask for. So check those entry requirements. And also check whether they provide any scholarship. That's the very important part. I will come to that point later. Then also check for the deadlines and then plan things based on the deadlines and plan things in advance. That's also very important. And it's also important to keep in mind that you shouldn't rely on only one graduate school. You should apply for many graduate schools, maybe 5, something like that, so that you can increase the chance. But here, one thing is tricky. For some universities, when you apply, there is an application fee involved. So then you have to critically select the universities. So these are the main thing I was considering while I was searching for graduate schools. So this screenshot I took from my current university program for environmental sciences. The idea is that when you select the university and when you go to the program site, you can find all kind of details, for example, scholarship, tuition fees, and about the program and other kind of things. So you can find most of the information at their website. And here also, I have the tuition fee information from my current university. For example, you can see for master's study program for non-EU, non-European Union students, so that's us. For us, for 1 year, it's around 18,000 euro. And master's program is for 2 years. For 1 year, we have to pay around 43 lakhs of Sri Lankan rupees. And if it's for 2 years, it's around 86 lakhs. So it's a huge amount of money. Then there's a huge need to find scholarships. Applying and getting a scholarship is always challenging. From my experience, I think it's relatively easy to find a scholarship from the prospective university where you would like to apply for a program. That's relatively easy. There are also private scholarships available, but normally the chances are very low to get those scholarships because you will be competing for that scholarship with all the international students from all over the world. So it's very, very competitive. That's why I recommend, if you could find any scholarship from the prospective university, then you should go for that option. And I'm also wondering whether there are Sri Lankan government scholarship. When I tried for my master's that time, I found there is none. But now I'm not sure whether things changed. But it's also good to keep an eye on this part. when it comes to scholarships to study in USA and Canada, it's a different story. In USA and Canada, normally they have teaching assistant position. There, you may not need scholarship, but you may have to discuss the possibility with the professor from the share group of the particular university. And there is also one like a positive part of this. When you do the teaching assistant task, then there's a high chance it can also be converted into research assistantship position. So that means after your master's, you can directly start your PhD. Then it comes as a package. So you do the teaching assistant thing for 2 years, and yeah, you are doing your master's also during those 2 years. Then you immediately start your PhD, then that's 4 years. So in total, 6 years of package, and you get that 6 years of package at once. So it's very common in USA and Canada. But in Europe, it's a completely different story. In Europe, masters and PhD, they are completely independent things. So first you do your masters for 2 years, you are done. Then you start your PhD and then do your PhD for around 4 years. So they are completely independent things. Yeah, so it varies per region, so it should also good to pay attention to this part. These are the databases I used to find schools to do my masters. In fact, I found my current university from the first database, mastersportal.com. And the other databases are also useful. So later I can share these slides with you so you can check these websites, but they are very useful. Then my second turning point of my life comes. So it's a very long journey from Sri Lanka to Netherlands. You can see it's a very long route, right? So that's how I started my second part of the academic life. So here I would like to share some pictures from my current university. So it's Wageningen University. It's a very beautiful and green environment. So we have many buildings for different departments. And this is our one of the biggest library we have in the university. So for Wageningen University, to do my master's, I received the Anne van de Baan Scholarship and Wageningen University Fellowship. So what happened is that when I applied for the master's program, during the application process, I mentioned that I don't have my own funding to come and do my master's. I need a scholarship. So I mentioned that during the application process. And I didn't make any separate application for this scholarship. Sometimes we have to do, but in my case, I did not do. So what happened is they selected the potential students who got the admission to the university. So they selected some students and they were evaluating the whole profile. And based on those evaluation, I got this scholarship. So then I started my master's study in Wageningen University. I did my master's study in environmental sciences. My specialization was environmental technology. So this is a quick glance about the environmental sciences program at Wageningen University. Normally they have two intakes, so one in September, another one in February. And the master's program is for 2 years, and then you get 120 ECTs. For example, if you take UK, the master's program there is only 1 year, and then you get, I think, around 90 credits. So the credits are also low. But generally, master's program is for 2 years. And during the master's program in Wageningen University, the first year is about coursework. So you take some basic courses in environmental sciences. And during the first year, you also decide what specialization you would like to do in your second year. And then you have to also select some courses based on the specialization that you are planning to do in your second year. So you would be doing basically basic courses, some specialized courses in the first year of your master's. Then you go to the second year of your master's where you do 6 months of master's thesis and 2 months of internship. So that's how the whole structure works. So here I have some idea. So I would like to show some ideas about the specialization track that we have in our Wageningen University for the Masters in Environmental Sciences program. For example, one specialization track is environmental quality. And we also have other specialization track. And my specialization was environmental technology. I'm very interested in technological stuff. So I took this as my specialization. So here I would like to highlight something about Word at personal level. During my master's study at Word, I did some consultancy projects. So one is in Czech Republic. It's also one of the benefits when we do a master's program abroad. You get the opportunity to go to another country and do some field study. So that was a wonderful experience for me. I got a good network there too. So it was nice. And I was also doing some voluntary work in one of the offices in Wageningen University. So it's more on the sustainable approach. And also I did internship. I got an internship in one organization. It's called LEAF. There I worked on designing different criteria for natural wastewater treatment systems. And I also did my master's thesis on the effect of particles and dispersion on the biodegradation of oil. So that was some of the highlights from my world master's life. And during this master's study, I was thinking, so now I'm doing my master's. During my bachelor's also, I did research that's I think it's a very important research, but I never used something or I never did after doing the research. Just it's on the paper. I didn't do anything further. So I was thinking, I should find an opportunity to present my work, what I have done during my bachelor's. So then I was searching for different conference opportunities. Then I applied for one conference opportunity and I also received a graduate scholar award. So everything is free, so I can go and present my work. So I received that award. So it was nice. Then with that award, I went to the conference in Copenhagen in Denmark. There I presented my bachelor's thesis, which is about implementing bioremediation technologies to degrade chemical warfare agents and explosives from war-affected regions in Sri Lanka. I did not do any field study. I did literature review. So I was checking other countries where where they used chemical weapons, and they summarize what kind of consequences they expect in the environment in long term. So I was able to find that information in literature. Based on that information, I predicted what kind of consequences that we can also see in Sri Lanka in the war affected zones in the future. So I was doing this analysis in my bachelor's thesis. Yeah, you can see the slide. So I was presenting this during the conference in Denmark. So these are some pictures from the conference. Yeah, definitely you meet a lot of new people. You got to know new things, like, okay, what other people are doing in your field. So you get to know new information. That's really nice. And also, yeah, you get to know new people. So I am still in contact with this girl. She's from Africa, she's from Uganda. So it's nice to build your network. So I always recommend everyone, if you are in academia, to attend conferences. That really helps a lot. Yeah, some pictures. Yeah, so you could see the, yeah. And yeah, I presented in Denmark. Afterwards, I also published my bachelor's thesis in the International Journal of Environmental Sustainability in 2016. Then something unexpected happened. I did not expect this. Yes, I won the International Award for Excellence in 2017 for my publication. I did not expect this even at single percentage. I did not expect, but I received it. So it was wonderful news for me. And the news was all over the media. And then here I have some, summary of some releases. So this is one, and this is, I think it was in, I don't remember the newspaper name, maybe Udayan or Velamburi something. And it's in Tamil, so sometimes you may not be able to read also, but it was a happy experience for me. And it was also at some news sites. Yeah. And during that time, I was not in Sri Lanka, I was in the Netherlands. So my father received that award on behalf of me. So that was a very proud moment for me. Yeah. With all these wonderful moments, I completed my master's study in 2016. And here I would like to share some moments during my master's study. The good thing is, yeah, even now I'm living in a corridor, so I have my own room, but I share the facilities with other people who stay in the apartment. For example, toilet facilities or kitchen facilities. So there we interact with different people, the students from different countries. For example, here we have students from New Zealand, China, Indonesia, India, and Zambia, Sweden, Germany, Portugal. So you get to know a lot of people from different nationalities. And then sometimes we also cook together. So we cook our own country dishes, then we share the food with each other. So it's a wonderful experience. You learn new culture. And what was the life lesson I learned after my master's study? The fruit of your own hard work is the sweetest that I experienced after I received the international award for excellence. And always hard work pays off. So you should always try hard. You will succeed. You will definitely succeed. Now the transitional period again came in my life. So I finished my master's in 2016. So I had again 1 year transitional period. Then the question is, was that painful? No, it was not painful because now I know how to cope up with uncertainties, how to face challenges, because I learned that during my first transitional period. So now I'm mentally prepared for this new transitional period. So it was not painful. But I had still some questions. Should I start a PhD? Or should I move to another country from Netherlands? Or do I want to go back to Sri Lanka? Or should I start a job in industry? So these things were there, but it was not a painful experience for me. Then, during this transitional period, I was also searching for PhD opportunities, and I used these databases. Again, I can share these links with you later, but they are also definitely helpful to find the right opportunities for us. How did I search for my PhD? I was also searching at the vacancy site of universities. Normally, universities advertise some available positions, so you can also check on that. And I was also searching via LinkedIn network. And I also let my professional circles know that I have been looking for a PhD opportunity. This is very, very important. And I also got my PhD through these lines. So I told my master's thesis supervisor that I am willing to do a PhD. So she knows that. And she knows that I am capable of doing PhD. She believed in me. So what happened is when there was an opportunity available in my department, she approached me and she said, Ilekya, there is one opportunity. Maybe that would be interesting for you. You can approach the particular research group and you can see whether you like it or not. Then I approached a particular research group, and my master's thesis supervisors already recommended me for them, so they already know me in advance. Then I went for the interview, and then I was discussing about the research interest, and then it worked eventually. That's how I got my PhD. So that's why I really emphasize this part. It's very important to have a very good professional circle, and then you should let them know what you have been looking for. That's very important. And yeah, I also tried other ways, and again I applied to all the positions that were interesting to me, so I did not miss the opportunity. And here I would like to highlight networking is really the key. That's how I also got my PhD. So let's say you are doing your master's and you are planning to do a PhD. There are certain things that you have to really think about. the first question is, do you really need PhD? You should think about that part. And it's also important to note that it's not the continuation of your master's study, especially in Europe. It's an independent research, and master study is more like a courses. You take some courses, you do like a very short thesis, and you do internship, then it's done. But PhD is not like that. It's a full-time research work, and you are an independent researcher, so that's a very different story. And the important thing is you should genuinely like the research topic. If you don't like the research topic, the 4 years of your life would be a suffering. So you shouldn't select a topic that you are kind of so have like a so feeling. You shouldn't choose like that. And in PhD life, there are no real breaks. You have to work very hard. And PhD track can be in two different directions. Like it can be an open PhD, so that means you have your own proposal or your own research interest, and then you approach a professor who might be a potential supervisor for you to do that research. So that's an open PhD. That's one category. The other category, I also belong to the other category where there is already a need, there is already a research set, and then we go there and we fit into the research environment. So that's a different story. And if you can choose your supervisors, it's very important to select the right supervisors for you. You both should have kind of equal values. I mean, you should have something in common, and you should value certain things in common. So that's very important. So if that's possible, I really recommend that part too. And yeah, it's more technical details, but I think it's good to know about a PhD life in Netherlands. You are not a student, it's a job, and you are an employee, so it's different. And this is not true for all other PhD job opportunities in European countries. In Netherlands, it's a job, but in other European countries, still you are student, you are considered as a student, so it's different. And in the Netherlands, you get monthly salary, and it increases every year. And in the last year, you receive around 2,400 euro, excluding tax, and it's around 5.6 lakhs. So it's a very good amount. So you get money, and also you do your PhD. So it's win-win situation. And yeah, in the Netherlands, it's a 4 years program, but normally we take 5 years to complete. And the important thing is that you are the boss of your research. You have the full control over your research. Definitely, you have your supervisor. So you go to your supervisors and you discuss things and they guide you. That's there. But you have to take the responsibility. You have to come up with the idea. You have to think about the execution of ideas. And you have to face all the problems that you would encounter when you execute your ideas. But your supervisors are there to help, but you have to do everything on your own. So you are the boss. And you are expected to have minimum 4 publications, and you have to also supervise master's students and bachelor students for their thesis work. So that's good, but also it's a lot of work. And yeah, you may have to also assist supervisors for their education thing and for reviewing manuscripts. And you have to take some PhD courses and some oral presentation in the international conferences. So these are some technical details. And at the end of your PhD, you defend your work in public. So it would be a thrilling experience. I'm also really looking forward to that. So now about my PhD, and I'm in the final year of my PhD life. Sir already explained to you, I do research which is a part of the Lotus project. Lotus project is a collaboration between India and the Netherlands, and Indian universities, Indian research centers, and Netherlands universities and Netherlands research centers. We all collaborate, and there are different research lines associated with Lotus project, and we have different technologies developing in the whole project. And our ultimate goal is to treat Jamuna River, to clean Jamuna River and produce healthy reusable water that can be used in agriculture. So that's our ultimate goal. I would like to give a very quick introduction to the technology I developed. So I developed a technology that is called vital urban filter, which mimics natural or constructed wetlands, but in a more compact way. Here we use substrata like materials. They are not conventional material like sand or gravel. We use materials like cocoa peat, wood fiber, so all the environmental friendly products. And we also plant ornamental plants on the top of those material. With the selection of these material, we can develop a compact system that can be applied in urban environments, because in urban environments we already have the limitation for space, so we have to develop something that is compact. So the ultimate goal is we receive wastewater. It can be raw wastewater or pre-treated wastewater. So we receive this wastewater, and all different processes would be happening in the vital urban filter. For example, biodegradation, sorption, phytodegradation. So all different kind of processes would be happening. Because of all these processes, the contaminants that are present in the wastewater are removed, and then we produce healthy reusable water which can be used in agriculture for irrigation. And here I have some pictures from my current experimental setup where I remove pharmaceuticals, pesticide and antibiotic resistance from wastewater, and I try to understand the mechanism behind all the removal. Yeah, I will talk about this research later, but I would like to give a quick glance. Okay, about my PhD highlights. I have already worked on one manuscript. It's about the sorption process, and it's ready to be published in Environmental Advances Journal. So it's there. And I have already supervised 6 master students from Netherlands, Taiwan, Belgium, China. So it's a very different experience because each of them has a different cultural background. So I have to change my mode depending on the student. So, but it was a very nice experience for me. And I also supervised one bachelor student for their final thesis. I participated in summer school in Cyprus, and I also presented my research work at international conferences in Chile, South Korea, Denmark, Luxembourg, India, Netherlands, and other 3 scheduled ones in France, Spain, Poland in 2021. I don't know with COVID situation how it would go, but I am hoping that I can present my work there too. And I also present my research in Luxembourg. There, the conference is Young Water Professional Conference, and there I received the Best Research Presentation Award from the International Water Association in 2020. So these from the award releases. So it was in our university magazine and the certificate, and during the conference, I received this award. So it was a happy and a proud moment for me. And here I would like to show you some pictures from the conferences that I attended. For example, in South Korea in 2019. Yeah, you see, you meet new people, you get to know new research topics, and you also develop new research interest, and then you build a great network. Of course, there is another sweet side. You can go for holiday too. For example, what I do is when I have a conference in one country, okay, first week it's about conference. The second week I go for holiday. So I go for the places that are very attractive for tourists in the particular country. And I really love traveling. So then it's a good opportunity to combine. So conference, networking, new research experience, also a lot of fun-filled moments. Yeah, so it was nice. It was in South Korea, so it was really nice. And these are the pictures from a conference in Chile in 2019. So it's in South America. South America is very far from Europe, but it was a very wonderful experience. I really enjoyed my stay in Chile. It's one of the favorite countries I have visited so far. And yeah, this is a group picture, and we took this picture in front of Dutch embassy located in Chile. There is also another side of a PhD life. Yes, yeah, there are sweet sides, also salt sides. you would encounter some special, like some critical issues. You may have conflict with your supervisors. Your manuscript might be rejected from the journals, and you would have lack of social life, sometimes low motivation, uncertainty, frustration, sleepless nights, funding issues. You will have these problems. It's there. It's part of the life, right? Everywhere we would have problems too when we have some positive things. So it's life. In PhD too, it's true. So how to approach this? I think it's all about balancing different things in life. To be specific, it's very important to have realistic expectation. As scientists, we always would like to test new things, new research ideas, but then there are a lot of limitations associated with. So I think we have to think about those limitations as well. It's important to think and then plan things in advance, and we have to set long-term goals. And the long-term goal is there, but then we have to also set some sub goals to achieve the long-term goals. It's important to learn to say no. You shouldn't say yes to everything that your supervisors would be saying. You should know how to say no. And you have to be critical with the choices. And it's also good to share the pain and gain with your family, friends. That really helps to improve your mental health. And take holidays, traveling. All these approaches would help to reduce the pitfall side of PhD life. So what is my plan after my PhD? Yes, I would like to build a startup, and I would like to convert my research idea into a business model, especially in developing countries, to treat urban wastewater. So that's my vision for future. So the question is, can environmental science students become a scientific entrepreneur? Why can't we? We can, right? Because we have the potential, and we know that there are so many environmental problems existing. And if we can't come forward, then who will solve all these problems? So definitely we can, and society need us. And also it's our responsibility to create impact in our society. And I think some of us must become as scientific entrepreneurs. I observed that there's a long gap between lab research and field application. Lab research is more in a more controlled condition. When it comes to the field, there are so many challenges, and the gap is also very big. So my point is that okay, I'm doing a lot of lab work, I'm investing so much time, but then it's still in the lab phase. I want that to be applied in the field. I want my research to have an impact in the society. Then I thought, okay, this entrepreneurship track is the best option for me to create the impact with the research that I'm doing now. Yes, these are also some technical details. So how can environmental science students become as a scientific entrepreneur? First, we should have a novel idea, and then we should discuss that idea with experts or with our supervisors. And we have to critically think about the conversion from lab to field, because that's a very long transition, and we have to be critical about that. And if you don't have a much business background, it's also important to enroll in some entrepreneurship or business management related courses. I think that helps. And I already did few courses, and I found it very useful. And yeah, it's always good to check your ideas with experts and get feedback from them because they have a lot of experience. uh, and let's say you have the idea, and when you want to put the idea into the field, you need a lot of resources, you need money. So then you may have to think about the potential sources, financial sources, whether government program is available or university programs are available. For example, in the Netherlands, we have a Dutch National Research Center. They invest a lot of money for the new ideas, new startup ideas. And even in my universities, we have a separate group that's called Start Hub. So they really encourage PhD students to do some business models or business applications like that. And they also give money to us if we have a very good proposal, if we have a great idea, they give money. So I think in your case also it's important to check where you can find all these kind of financial sources. Again, networking. Networking is very, very important. So it's good to talk to the business people who are in the same business that you are planning to do. With them, I think you will learn a lot of experience. And I also realized that it never harms, right? You go and you talk to them, you always learn something. It could be positive, sometimes it could also be negative, but it's still a learning process. So you should always talk to people if you are planning to build your research idea into a business idea. Uh, so to summarize, okay, now we are doing research. So we have the new idea, we have the innovation. And with that innovation, now we have to think, okay, where I can apply, where I can find the opportunity to scale my idea. So we have to do the opportunity recognition part. Afterwards, we have to think, okay, what's the product I'm going to sell? Whether it's a knowledge could also be a product. So whether it's a knowledge thing or you already have the technological thing. In my case, it's knowledge plus technology. I am developing a technology, but also I have a knowledge how to increase the treatment efficiency using my technology. So both things are the product of my research. And they are, okay, let's say you have the product, you need money and other resources. So you have to find the right sources to get those resources. With those things, then yeah, your product is ready to be applied in the society and it will benefit our society. And based on the literature review, there are certain skills that's good to have. So for example, deal making, negotiating skills, networking skill, business building plans, planning skills, so this kind of thing. Again, if you are not very familiar with these things, it's important, and I also recommend to take some entrepreneurship related courses or some business management courses, so you will learn and you will develop all these skills that would help you to become a successful entrepreneurial scientist. I'm almost at the end of my presentation. Here I would like to highlight kind of take-home message. The internationalization is very, very important. You can develop your personality. As a person, you grow a lot, and you can develop your career life. Global networks, you get to know so many people from all over the world. That's very important. And yeah, you become aware of international and intercultural aspects. That's also important, and eventually you become a global citizen. So that's also nice. So here you can find where to reach me. So via my email or LinkedIn profile. This is my personal phone number. So I have WhatsApp, Viber. You can also reach me via these private channels. Yeah, I'm available, and when you have questions, please let me know, and I will try to support you finding the answers. So in Dutch, we say dank u wel. So that's mean thank you. And if you have any questions, yeah, definitely we can discuss that now. And I'm really looking forward to this program with you all. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you very much, Elackiya. This is a very impressive presentation. So students, this is the time for the interaction. I have created the WhatsApp group with Elackiya. You can join. Elackiya, you can share some slides and all, right? You know, in the WhatsApp.
Yeah, sure.
Whoever join.
Yeah.
So please, who want the details and.
Can I talk a little bit?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Elackiya, thank you very much. That was a wonderful knowledge sharing, and it's kind of taking all the students through your experience. I think there were a lot of turning points. And I like to mention my students at this point that unless you take risks, you are not going to achieve anything. So that is one of the major lacking in our students, that very difficult or very reluctant to take risks, because there'll be the parents pushes and other relatives and all those people will come and tell, but only you will know whether you want to take a risk and whether you will do it or not.
Yeah.
So like Elackiya took the decision to go to Bangladesh, this is the risk that she took. And
Yes.
also I would like to mention that your life is depend on your spouse and your teacher. That is very important. They are the people who will turn your life and make it better, heaven or hell. So that is another important thing, but that is luck by chance, of course, that it's difficult sometimes always possible to choose the teacher. Similarly, if you can choose a partner, that you can, but it is not always possible also. And also, I would like to mention that you have to be in right place at right time. That is very important. Don't miss any opportunities. If there's an opportunity, just grab it. And then that's how things will work exceptionally. If you have to wait for a normal thing to happen, if you have to wait for all what can happen to others, then the life is normal. But if you want to make any different, any change, I think it can be a good role model for you all. Thank you, Elackiya. Thank you very much for a very inspirational motive talk.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. Definitely, I agree with you. Risk-taking and not missing opportunities are the key. Are definitely the key. I agree with you, sir.
Yeah, and also adding to the Dr. Vijay, he's my teacher, right? So when I was in second year, he was there, right? So he also had the same passion in his PhD. He never compromised, right? He's a wonderful elephant scientist we have in this country, right? So his experience also we can bring this forum, right? Sir, we will talk another session, maybe your experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and also Sivakaran sir also here. So, dear students, we have another guest who is a philosophy department, University of Jaffna lecturer, senior lecturer, Mr. Sivakaran. He's a very, very enthusiastic person. We got connected through him, actually, Elackiya and me. So, sir, do you want to tell anything to our students? And also Elackiya.
Yeah, hi Elackiya. How are you? I am very nice to hear your presentation. It's really wonderful, amazing that I see your achievement within the periods you are in the end of your PhD periods, and really I am very happy. You actually I couldn't able to join the early part of your presentation, but in the later part only I can be joined. Actually I am very happy to have a good relations with you. Really, it's a wonderful the Zoom and the COVID-19 creates good relationship. Yeah, thank you, Srikant, Sumana sir, and really thank for you to give the organize for such a great opportunity to the students and me too also. I'm really very happy. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sivakaran.
Yeah,
So
thank
students,
you, Sivakaran, sir.
Yeah, so students, now it is now your time, right? Okay, I think Elackiya, we have wonderful students with us, right? Who have a very good GPA and who have the passion, but they need some path guidance. Maybe now your presentation enlightened them, how to find the opportunity. So students, please ask questions and make some interaction with her in this session. After this session also you can connect with her. So because I created one WhatsApp group, so please join there and she will share because we have to reduce our time, right? If we everybody join to that group, she can share the information in that group, right? So all will get. So please, I like some of the people who are pass out. Some pass outs also there with the first class students are here. So please start the conversation. Yeah.
Do you have any question for me? I would like to talk to you. I would like to interact with you.
Samita.
Yes, sir.
So the Samita is one of our first class student, Elackiya. Now she is seeking some PhD positions in the Sri Lanka and also foreign university. So Samita, you can ask some questions if you have anything.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, this is a wonderful session, actually, because I also passed out from the Wageningen campus in environmental science and in 2018. And in my master degree at Peradeniya University. So actually, parallelly, I'm seeking for a PhD, maybe in Sri Lanka or abroad. Actually, means your presentation we gained a lot of informations, and you shared your experiences with us. Actually, by that, um, I had an interest to study in abroad actually, so, because you shared so many interesting experiences you faced, you exposed in abroad. So actually, I also got some very valuable information how I have to seek for a PhD in abroad in foreign universities and Sri Lankan universities. So actually, before that, as you mentioned, you told in your transitional stage, so you also don't have any idea. Actually,
Yes.
I also face that
Yes.
kind of that period.
Yeah.
So
So actually, so Samita in the same transitional period which Ilakkiya experienced 8 years before, right, Samita? Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes, actually. So actually, I also had these days also facing this situation. What should I do next? Like that. So actually, parallelly, I'm doing my master because I have a thought of wasting my time without doing anything. So that's why I choose to do my master degree. So parallelly, I'm seeking for a PhD in Sri Lanka or a foreign university, and I am applying for that. So, but still, I didn't get any chances. So. Uh, Actually, this is very interesting session, Miss. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences and the informations. So it will help for most of the students who are at the still studying their bachelor degree and who are at the final year. So after passing out from the university, sometimes we don't have a clear cut idea what we have to do next. So that is the main thing. Okay, so actually thank you very much, Miss. So sharing your experiences and informations and these lot of informations with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Samita, for sharing your experience about the transitional period that you have been
Yeah,
going through now. But maybe we can talk via the private channels about your research interest and what kind of universities you may find it in Europe, or in other continents to do your PhD. I can also give you more information, more specific information. So maybe I think you would have my WhatsApp number via the WhatsApp group. So we may talk in private, I think,
Yeah.
okay.
in
Yeah.
detail.
Please, Samita,
Yeah,
please contact Ilakkiya, for your guide.
sure.
She have a very, very good advice for you. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much.
any other students, pass out students or final year students who have some idea about the PhD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, Lakya. So I'm Keithan Ram from Wageningen campus, final year student. So sorry, I was in a field visit today with the Wageningen. So I was mostly in 90% of your presentation. It seems good for me. It's seriously enthusiastic. Whenever the opportunity is there, you are grabbing them and you are going for that, and you are having uh, make your transition stage into a beautiful one rather than making it more complexity.
Mhm.
So I too have some doubts, and I have a very big I don't know how to tell how I'm going to face the transitional stage, because it's very much difficult for me in my opinion. So currently I'm doing my undergraduate research on Shenbaham, that's anthropocyanesis. So I'm much more interested in the wildlife field. So we will see how we can interact with. Surely in the future we will come through you, and we will get seek opportunities from you. That will be an assurance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keerthanaram, for sharing your story. Definitely, I also agree the transitional period is painful. It was very painful for me at the beginning, but later I know how to cope up with because of the experience. But definitely, I agree it's painful. But as you said, we have to change the painful period into a beautiful period. So it's up to us how we are taking that painful experience, right? So I think if we use the period in a more efficient way, we can definitely make it more beautiful, and definitely we can discuss all the things in detail. Maybe, yeah, as I said already, via the private channels. So then I can give more specific information to you that might be helpful for you.
So any of the students? Yeah, please.
I need to comment something, Suman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The well-to-do students in Sri Lanka, not only in Wageningen campus, but in many universities in Sri Lanka, the best students get into a trap, which is what you call into temporary assistant lecturers and demonstrators trap. Right? Soon after they pass out, and there will be an advertisement posted by the department to recruit temporary assistant lecturers and demonstrators. So these students who have passed out immediately apply for this position, and then they get this position of acting assistant lecturers or demonstrators, because the salary is very attractive in the university system, where you cannot get that kind of salary soon after passing out. But the thing is that they lose all their valuable time soon after passing out the university, and they spend all their time in teaching the undergraduates, but then they miss looking after themselves and looking after their postgraduate studies or any other thing. So it is, since it's a temporary position, and there's no permanent position, and there's no security for you to have permanent position. The students should understand whether working as a temporary lecturer in the university or in that particular department, they should know whether the department has the kind of positions to recruit you as a permanent people. Right? So without that, it is completely pointless and wasting your time for 2 years as a temporary lecturer. By the time your batchmate will be finding a job and they will be in some other position, and you will be losing doing all your postgraduate studies and everything. So after 2 years, then you are nowhere. When you are thrown out of the department, you are nowhere. So this is a bad thing that is happening to all our well-to-do students, because they are the people who will be recruited because of the competition. Ultimately, the best students will be selected, because they will, when they are applying, they will be selected. But unfortunately, they are the people who are becoming victims of all the students. So I hope that this is what I told you. You have to take a risk, and you have to see turning points, and you have to make the opportunities whichever it comes. Don't just fall into this trap, because it gives a little bit of respect in the society working in a university as a temporary assistant lecturer, whoever it is. So that kind of reputation is also there, so that you get the kind of, get fooled by this kind of unnecessary jargons around you. So I think Elackiya's situation after doing mathematics and becoming an environmental PhD in environment, without stick to one thing and taking the opportunities, is one of the important things that you have to do. So again, as an advice, I will I tell the people who are in the final year, or those who are going to do specials and who have a better GPA, please don't get into this trap. Wherever you go, any other university, if you cannot make sure the department has a harder position, don't go as a temporary people in those universities. It is not going to provide you anything. You will be the biggest loser. So take this piece of advice from me, and I don't think my head of the department will not be happy about it, but I cannot help, because I have to be very fair with my students. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Sir, I'm thinking that maybe we can also see that from a different direction. For example, during the transitional period too, we need financial security. We need money to survive. So maybe I'm thinking it might be a good idea still to do the temporary lecturer position, but meanwhile to focus on what I really want in my life. So to get money, to have a social, status, okay, I can go for that for 2 years. But maybe then during that 2 years, I already figure out, okay, what I am going to do next in my life. And I already start making application for PhDs or other position that I really want to do in my life. So maybe I'm thinking I can combine both to get more benefits. Because, for example, if I don't find any other opportunity, for example, if I don't find any other opportunity, then I will have hard time to to support myself financially. So in that way, I think if we combine both, but still there's an important thing that I have to be very clear. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore, but then I have to focus on something. But for the financial security, for the social status, why can't we combine both? So I'm thinking in that direction.
No, actually, like yeah, what Sir said, I can add what he's figuring out. In the transition period, for example, what you did, right? You search for the something higher thing in your life, right? You search for your PhD and masters and all. But when the people are getting to this type of short-term contracts, they are losing their ability, or they are not doing something benefit for them. So, for example, as you said, they have to find out the PhD or so their research programs and all. If that's happened, that's wonderful, right? But in Sir's experience, what he's mentioning, it's not happening. Many people are losing their career. That's what he's trying to highlight. Yes, sir. Yeah. Is that
it's not happening in Sri Lanka because in Sri Lanka the situation is totally different, because you won't get a scholarship to do your PhD unless you are a permanent position in a university. It's very difficult to get a position locally. If you can apply and get the position from outside, that is you can. But once you come into the university system, you forget doing that. That is the problem, because you get you will get inside a bubble and not looking in outside the university. You will be happy with doing what you are doing, and you will be busy, and the people will, your employer will keep you extremely busy, and you won't have time to do all the other things. That is the major problem here.
It's not win-win situation.
Yeah, it is not. And the money that they are earning is not enough to support the education. That's the most difficult situation in Sri Lanka. Whereas in European countries and Western countries, America, where the money that you earn is enough to do your master's or PhD. But here it is not the case. Okay. So that is another bigger problem in our situation. So this is why I'm trying to tell, because better to find a scholarship. If you are joining a university, you have to work for it. Don't wait until you will be recruited as a university graduate, employee, and then after that you can go for a scholarship. Then you will be losing, because the departments are not always wanted to recruit the people all the time. They will do it only when they want it. So just because you are going to be in the department, they are not going to recruit you. So you have to be very careful in taking that sort of risky job.
Yes, sir, I see that. So it's not win-win situation. So then I'm wondering, sir, is it a good idea that for example, if I'm in that situation, I go for an industrial experience, then meanwhile, I will also be looking for PhD opportunities. Would that combination work for them?
That would be the best. That would be the best, because by the time if you are in the industry, you get the experience also, and then you will know what you wanted to do for a PhD. That is the most important thing, because once you have got into some kind of an industry or some kind of a area of study, then you know. But soon after passing out, you don't have any idea, and you wait for all the opportunities, then that is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really want to highlight, adding to this. So, Elackiya, what we are trying to give a clue for the students. So we must have the idea how I want to, be in the 10 years, 5 years. I want to be an environmental scientist, right? So I want to do some a master's. So if we have that idea in the final year only, you will follow the path, right? You may be facing the challenge. right? But somehow you will get into the path. But now what's happening after graduation, they have to get the job, but they have, because the financial problem will come, right?
Yes.
Definitely. So where they have to go to the some government job or private sector. Yeah.
I understand the situation. Yes.
Okay. So students, any other questions? So any other comments? How the some sort of evaluation? You know, how is beneficial? Any opinion? So Naveen, any opinion? So we have one staff member, senior staff member, Naveen. So any other students? Shall we? So I think another student also, Mayuri. You want to ask anything? So Mayuri is actually not from our faculty. She's doing environmental science in Jawadhanapura. Okay. She after I invited. Mayuri, you want to say anything?
Yeah, good evening everyone and good evening Elackiya madam. I'm from University of Jawadhanapura, doing environmental science as one of my courses. To be honest, I have no idea of doing PhD or masters, but your presentation was really honestly impressive, and not only it is applicable to the environmental students but also to me as well, because I'm pursuing my career in another field, HRM as well. So in one way I am also in the transitional period, because I am about to finish my final exams within a month. So actually I am in that period, so I've been wondering for a long time that what I am going to do. So the points you gave, for an example, the combination of what you are doing now for financial stability and what you really want to combine both and get the productivity out of it, that's a that's a really helpful point. And the balance, about the balance you said, the points are really true and really helpful. The one thing I wanted to ask is, I always wonder, why do people choose to do PhD? Because they spend a lot of time in their life, right? Like 4 to 5 years. So I always wonder, maybe I haven't thought it through deeply, but I always wonder, why do people choose academic field rather than finishing their education in 2 to 3 years and get a good job in what they like. So I wanted to ask you is, why did you choose to go in the academic field? If that is if that's not a wrong question, I would like to ask.
Thank you, Mayuri, for all your nice words. And I definitely agree that things I shared is not just applicable for environmental science students. It's common because it's life lesson, so we can apply that at different situations. And coming to your question, I started my PhD for the passion for the research. I really love to do research. I'm very keen to know new things. I'm also very keen to innovate things. So I'm very passionate about research, and adding to that, I also love nature. So the combination of both things can easily merge into PhD. And in my PhD, what I do is connected to the internship that I did during my master's program. So there I identified some nature-based solution to treat water to treat wastewater. Then this PhD is also a good transition from an internship to research. I was very interested to know more, to study in at deeper level when I was doing my internships. Then I got this opportunity and I really liked the opportunity. Basically, the thing is, I think it's about the thing that we value in our life and about the passion that we have.
Right, that makes sense, madam. Thank you so much for inviting me, Shakti Anna, as well. Thank you so much,
So
madam.
he used to
Good luck.
say me as Anna. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Mayuri. Thank you very much. No, she also very versatile person. You know, she has some other things. Yeah, it's a good question. So any other students or something like that, you know, this is what I want, you know, ask some critical question also. Why you are wasting your time?
we are used to that too. We are always criticized by our supervisors, by our reviewers from the journal. So they use a lot of harsh words too, but we are used to that.
So any other people, Rizwana, you want to ask any question? So just have some comment, right? You know, so if you don't have any question, you know, say something, you know, we benefited or it's boring, we wasted the time, right?
I hope I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But maybe they can say, but then I can improve that next time. Definitely, there's always a room for improvement.
No, I really want to make some interaction, right? You know, then only, you know, we can, like, you know, we can have that. Because what she said is a very important part is the networking. Okay, networking. So what do you mean by the networking, right? You know, that need to be understood. Yeah. Please say any comments.
Yes, sir. Actually, this very good opportunity seriously we had. And we should thankful to arrange this, and thank you so much, madam, to conduct this as a successful one for our future. So I'm also a student in Wageningen campus and following third year. Also hope to do my special in final year also. So it's very good and it's very useful for us to what we can do in our future and what we hope to follow and how we can take that opportunity and during our transitional period and also after the graduation. It's very useful. Also, we got and we inspired with your experience and your research and the works you did. It's a very useful one, and this and most also it's a very useful hour that we had. Thank you so much for this.
Okay, thank you, Rizwana.
Thank you, Rizwana, for your nice words.
So, Takshila?
Yes, thank you very much, madam, for your wonderful presentation, and I also get some motivation about from your presentation. So, when the situation we are facing in here now, we are facing some conflict with the study situation. So, it is very motivating for us for your how to say your your life story. I think it's a life story. So it's very wonderful and it's very motivating for us for encourage our life with that one. So thank you very much for your valuable presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taxila, and I'm glad that I was able to motivate you. So I'm glad about it.
Yeah. So who is another next person? Purnima? So I want everybody to speak.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can say something.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, madam, for your wonderful presentation. Actually, I am working as a demonstrator at Wageningen campus. So I think I am also in the transitional period. So your words really motivated me and I got some idea how to think about my future, because at that time I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Really, I am so confused about my future. So these words helped me a lot to get an idea for my future. Thanks a lot, madam, and thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So,
Thank you, Purnima.
yeah. So one more voice, male voice. Shamad, Rasanga.
Actually, sir, it's a very good session, and I want to know how to get that opportunity for the scholarship and how we face them. I will hope it will discuss in near future, and it's really good. I take more information about the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samond. I think if you have more questions regarding scholarship, then we can talk via the private channels. So I can give you more information, more detailed information.
Okay. So I think we can close the session, right? So any other person? So we are reaching our time. So I think we can conclude, right? If anything, please, I have added the WhatsApp group. Please join there. That is for sharing the document, because I don't want Elackiya to send it one by one, right? So she will share the information. After that, you can contact her personally. You don't want to maintain the communication only through that WhatsApp group, right? You personally communicate. So that's the idea. The mentor, in the sense, you know, she's like a guru, right? In our tradition, we say guru, right? Or guide, right? So ask some life skills, you know, not only, you know, lectures and all. These are the life skills, right? You know, how to face the, how to define the research, you know, many things you can discuss. That passion should be there. So thank you very much, students. And also, Swagaran sir, thank you very much for participating this event. It's our really, because we have a senior lecturer, Swagaran, here from the philosophy department. Thank you very much. And also Mr. Naveen, he's a lecturer in the Department of Biological Science. And thank you very much, Sir Vijayamon, sir, with all your field visit and all, you joined and motivated us. Thank you very much. And finally, Elackiya, this is a very impressive story. Really, very, you know, I want, because another part, you know, how the woman from our society, right, you know, with all the restrictions, you know, how to travel toward her vision, right? It's a very nice, and then also you made it very wonderful with the storytelling and all. So I hope to guide our students who approach you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this great opportunity. And I had a great time sharing my story and interacting with all the students. I'm also really looking forward to joining them and supporting them.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much.